of a weirdo. I rarely listen to songs with lyrics in. When I'm on my commute to uni or even just walking around, I will listen to theme songs and soundtracks and classical pieces. Is that normal for a 20-year-old girl? Probably not, but it places you in a very reflective mood, and we've all done it. Sometimes you look out the window in a car or whilst you're on a train and you put some sad songs on and it's raining against the window and you feel like you're in a movie. And don't you sit there and say that you don't do it, because every single person on this goddamn earth does. That's just a fact. It's in these moments that I like to inject a bit more drama into my daily routine, and I will switch on something morose, usually from a video game. So that begs the question, which are my favourite tearjerker songs from video games? Well, these are. Like, you just clicked on the video, so I'm gonna talk about them. So you just have to keep on watching, I guess. Why am I on YouTube? You know what? This setting, it all just feels a bit too cozy, a bit too comfortable for the topics that we're going to be talking about anyway. Let's take this somewhere a little bit more sullen, don't you think? There we go. I'm solitary, it's gloomy weather, and I'm stood by a pond, so let the sadness commence. We're going to get the sorrow-soaked song ball started with a song from the most popular life simulation game ever, The Sims. We've seen the classic. I mean, The Sims is just like all-American, happy-go-lucky, jaunty, jolly fun, right? Well, apparently not. If we take a gander into the original Sims and, let's face it, the best one, sorry, Sims 4, there's an array of beautifully composed, mature piano pieces that are worlds away from the jaunty elevator tunes that can be found in Create a Sim and Buy Mode and the neighbourhood themes found elsewhere in the game. Although the other building mode pieces are quite reflective in themselves, this one is poignant because it completely throws you off guard. I just wanted to buy a window! Just fucking window, for Christ's sakes! Now I'm crying into my keyboard! Thanks, Sims. You know something? I had an Xbox once. I know. It was a dark time for many, many people. But in a game whose musical score has been composed in part by Danny Elfman. Yeah, that's the Danny Elfman. You know it's going to have some orchestral opulence. The music in Fable really reaches a range of emotions. Some are utterly joyful and ambient and relaxing, some are action-packed and dramatic, and others are downright creepy. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Darkwood. The song that I've picked may actually be considered more reflective and serene than typically sad, but the emotion it can invoke by just using a single instrument is nothing short of truly stunning. I'm not a huge Legend of Zelda fan, and I haven't actually played any of the games because I didn't grow up with it as a kid, but Flicking through the soundtracks, I came across one song that I absolutely adored, and it simply had to make the list. I have no context for this piece, so I'm not sure if this song actually does reflect something sad that's going on in the game, but its echoey, reverbing, eerie synth sounds really make you have a sense of contemplation, a sense of loneliness. It makes you feel sad without using a piano or a harp or strings, and that's a feat in itself. It makes you feel sad and you don't even really know why. I bought Shadow of the Colossus eons ago, back when I worked at Blockbuster. Do you remember that time when video rental shops were still a thing? Anyway, then I kind of had no money and I had to sell it back on eBay, which kind of sucked. But I remember from the short time I played it, the soundtrack was pretty bloody awesome. Ambient, reflective, and yeah, you guessed it, saddening too. I'm not sure what the title of this song is, but with such majestic grief rippling through its minor chords, you don't really need to label it, to be honest. It kind of speaks for itself. Spending most of the game killing and murdering people for Edgar Ross, to finally get a quest at the bottom of the screen that reads, "Head home to see your family," is so relieving. You start to follow a marker on your map to get back to your homestead ranch, galloping through the forest on your steed, and then a song begins to play out. Although this is the only song on the list that actually has lyrics, Jamie Lidell's raw, strangled voice sort of amplifies the anxiety that John Marston's feeling. It's a really moving moment in gaming history, and if you've played Red Dead Redemption, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Now I know the only compass that I need, oh, is the one that leads back to you.
Heavy Rain is an interactive drama written by David Cage and developed by Quantic Dream. So naturally, with all these things combined, there's going to be some pretty sad songs in the soundtrack. In many of the main songs, the bass melody actually stays the same, and is just played with different instruments at different tempos depending on the mood. The mood being either sad, very sad, or agonizing sadness, obviously. I can't even begin to talk about the amount of depressing plot lines in this game, otherwise I'd be stood in this bloody forest for 3 days. So I'll just leave you with this. The song that I chose is called Painful Memories. Not exactly chirpy. I love Final Fantasy XII, as you will know if you stuck around on this channel and follow me on Twitter. I absolutely love it, and I think it is underrated as all hell. Its soundtrack is the stuff of legend, and whilst most songs are energetic and get you ready for battle, there's one that sticks out for being pretty blooming sad. This song occurs in the aftermath of the attack on Mount Vir Omises. Smoke is swirling into the sky, rain is bucketing down, child is crying over his dead mother's body, and you have to go around and talk to the NPCs about their humble refugee town being destroyed. Yikes. Before, when I harped on about Fable's soundtrack being composed entirely by Danny Elfman, well, let's kick it up a notch and talk about the ultimate king in musical scores, Hans Zimmer. Here we go. This soundtrack is amazing, and trying to find one song that summarizes the whole sadness of the game was pure hell because they're all so fantastic. You can hear hints of Zimmer's style embedded throughout. For example, when Jodie gets her revenge at the party, you can hear Inception, The Dark Knight, and Beyond Two Souls all kind of mixed up in this musical menagerie. You have no idea how much I want to put at least 5 songs on this list, but if I screw up my eyes real tight and just point blindly at my iTunes, then the one I'm going to go for is called Jodie's Suite. 4.5 minutes long just encapsulates dramatic sadness in a way that only Hans Zimmer can create. There are so many musical elements to this track, a world away from the simplistic ones that we've mentioned before, but it kind of seems like they were destined to fit in sync. I wish I could play the whole song to you rather than just a short sample, but I implore you, please just go and listen to the whole song because it's truly that magnificent. Don't blame me if you start crying though. BIOSHOCK 2 was my least favourite game of the 3 in terms of, well, everything, but BIOSHOCK's 1 soundtrack focused more on being scary and making you feel utterly claustrophobic. And as much as I like Infinite's soundtrack, none of them really made me cry because they were mainly reused 80s pop songs. A song called PAIRBOND in BIOSHOCK 2 is aptly named due to the events that's going on in the game's narrative. It starts with slow, soft strings easing into a solo, sullen violin. It's beautifully desolate and beautifully BIOSHOCK. First few times I heard this song, I was a crying, snuffling, mascara streaming mess, curled up in the dark in my room, clutching a pillow. And still, every time I hear that solitary, dreary note drawl out, I get that feeling of solitariness and pain and angst and sadness fill the very crevice of my chest and strip all joy from my soul. The minor string ensemble that gradually builds up to this dramatic, heart-wrenching climax complements the themes in the game absolutely perfectly. I'm sorry, okay, this game has claimed the #1 spot in another top 10 yet again, but it's my ultimate go-to sad video game song. So #1 goes to All Gone, No Escape from The Last of Us. cried yourself into oblivion, then click here ish. It's gonna be there to watch my top 10 happy songs in video games. I mean, if you're not gonna smile from the actual songs, then you'll laugh at how terrible I was a few months ago. Jesus, that quality, oh my god. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another game related video somewhere in the future. Adios gamers and gameritas! I like to inject a bit more drama into my daily routine. What the fuck am I talking about? That's really bright. We're gonna get the sorrow. Oh my god, that's bright. That's very fucking bright. I have a stick in my hair. What? So windy. So windy. Who is she? Where'd you find her? Who is absolutely neat. Fucking hell. You won't even be able to hear me because it's so windy. Why did I come outside in the windiest fucking day in the fucking world? Oh my god, this is so annoying. Terry dreary note drawls out. Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking? Why is there a jet plane in the fucking wind? It starts off with slow, soft strings. Oh my god. Will you stop being windy? Oh, this is why I don't leave my room. I hate my life. Why? Why? I am never leaving my room to film a video ever again.